all unlocked at the moment, so I can move it around. So you've got movement of this main motor grinding wheel head in that plane. You should better move the arm if I unlock it in that direction. And with this one unlocked, we can use the operating handle to raise and lower the head as we want. So main carriage, we've got some movement in the x-axis here. So there seems to be about 300 millimeters of travel. With a bit of play and removing the stops, I managed to get it up to about 340 millimeters. There's offset on the table here for grinding tapers, so that's a bit stiff at the moment. We've got the standard head mounted on it here with the number 4 Morse taper in that end, and the retaining bolt to hold in your collet chuck or whatever fitting you've got to mount your cutter in. Got movement for the y-axis on this direction. First impressions, well, I took it to pieces in order to lift it up and put it on the stand, and the surfaces under here were incredibly dirty and gritty, as if they'd machined the base, left it to store, and then when they assembled it, just put it on without cleaning the protective grease off. So initially I was a bit disappointed, but after I cleaned all the grease off, the surfaces looked really nice. Put it all back with some fresh oil and lubricant, all seems okay. So we've got a cup wheel on it as standard, the light is standard, and if I just spin around, we've got some of the accessories, the extra accessories. Well, we'll look at these in detail maybe in another one when I get time to play with it, but I went for the powered chuck stroke spindle for doing a bit of centre grinding, so I can use it as a cylindrical grinder. We've got the universal radius attachment for doing end mills and circular bald-nosed cutters, and these are the standard fixtures for dressing the wheels, holding the lathe tools and milling cutter arbors, and standard C5 collets that came with it, and of course the standard toolbox. So I will stop now and plug it in, and you can hear the motor going. Okay, here we're going again. So on off switch for one direction, seems to run reasonably nicely, although I can see a nice bit of strobing effect on the screen here. So turn it off, slows down, and we've got control in the opposite direction. I'll shut that down. And just out of interest, the graduations for the vertical up and down are here at 0.2, or is it 0.01 of a millimeter. On this direction we're in degrees, I think. On the cross slide we're in 0.01 of a millimeter, and degrees and things on the various axes here, which are maybe not quite so critical. And we seem to be able to move it from 0 to about possibly 10 degrees, although it's tightened up here at about 7.5 degrees. Something I have noticed is you've got to be slightly careful with the position of these handles. So, oops, let me just pull that away so I don't ram it into the machine head. I think we've got enough movement there. So you've got to make sure no, I need to move that one out of the way a bit. Let's unlock those things and get rid of it a bit. There we go. So you don't want these handles locked solid in the down positions, otherwise it's going to foul on your carriage then. No big deal because they're infinitely adjustable in position. So general feelings, quality doesn't look too bad. Looks like the things are hardened on the slides here and the bed. Finish seems pretty reasonable. Okay, maybe it could do with a few corners rounded off with a file, but general presentation not bad. Seems to run reasonably quiet. So I'll admit I'm not an expert on sharpening tools or driving cutter grinders, but we're obviously going to have fun playing with this in the next few weeks. And when I've learned how to drive it, I'll do another video and we'll work out how to sharpen various cutters and things with the universal all angle rotating whatever type head down here. So, and we might even try a bit of cylindrical grinding with this head that mounts on the machine. In fact, I'll stop the video now. I'll bolt that head on and just plug it in, and you can hear that one going as well. So back in 2 seconds. Hi guys, we're back again. We've now put the cylindrical grinding head on and the center support. It's got a spring-loaded center in it, and you've got adjustment for angle here, which I can't operate one-handed, but never mind. So controls for that are hidden under the carriage here. It only goes one direction, and that seems to be nice and quiet. There was a little squeak 2 seconds ago when I first started it. Just put a dash of oil on the lip of the seal, and that's quietened it down. We've got about 300 millimeters between centers roughly, and comes complete with a 3-jaw chuck. There are the external jaws for the chuck as well. They're still wrapped up. A little bit of oxidization, corrosion on the surface of the chuck. Some of that might be my fault, as I actually had the machine sitting in my, believe it or not, lounge for a month or two whilst I could get time to set it all up, but that's nothing serious. So here we are with the offset table here. We can have a go at grinding something like a Morse taper, for example. Maybe sharpening the taper section of some reamers. So that's going to have to wait for another day till I get some experience, but I'll upload this. So again, same as the lathe ones, I imported this directly from China. If anybody's interested to do something similar, I can give them the contact details for my contact Tina in China. She's pretty efficient at sorting things out. So here it is, over and out.